Which cities in the United States are the most expensive? High taxes, skyrocketing housing prices and rents, and daily living expenses make life in a big city prohibitively expensive for many Americans.
This video will examine a variety of indicators, including median home price, household income, and average earnings, to help you understand what to expect if you're thinking about moving.
Here's our list of the 10 most expensive cities in the United States. Number 10. Miami, Florida. Florida, affectionately known as the Sunshine State, has long been recognized as one of America's most popular retirement destinations. The beautiful weather and coastal breezes are a huge draw for individuals looking to relocate to Miami, which is tucked between the Everglades and Biscayne Bay. According to U.S. Census Bureau data, the Miami metropolitan region has over 6 million residents with an average median household income of $51,347. Miami is a mecca for American tourists as well as a major commercial center, and it is home to hundreds of huge firms. If you work in any of these industries, you should be able to meet the $3,851 monthly cost of living for a family of 4. Number 9. Los Angeles, California. Los Angeles, California, commonly known as the City of Angels, is home to some of the world's wealthiest actors, most notably in the Hollywood area in the city's central region. With so many celebrities in town, the cost of living isn't the cheapest in America, but if you get away from the glitz and glamour of the film business, you can discover more reasonable homes. The average cost of living in America's 9th most expensive city is comparable to Miami, with a monthly budget of $3,832 sufficient for a family of 4 to live comfortably. Housing expenses vary depending on where you live in Los Angeles, with a median home value of $1,150,000 in the downtown Los Angeles metro region compared to the county's total median home price of $795,000. In comparison, the median property price in Beverly Hills is more over $4 million. These variable expenses reflect the varied neighborhoods of a large city like Los Angeles, where living costs and median income can vary dramatically as you move from an upscale district to a gang-infested neighborhood. As a result, Los Angeles is a city of stark contrasts, and the neighborhoods of Hollywood's elite assist to obscure the impact of poverty and crime, making it one of the most costly cities in the state. Number 8. San Diego, California. San Diego, like Los Angeles, is an expensive American metropolis in Southern California, stretching from the southern limits of Orange County to the Mexican border. San Diego, the state's second most populous city, has historic military roots and has recently emerged as a healthcare and technological hub. Residents pay a somewhat high cost of living in comparison to other cities in the United States, with an annual median household income of $83,985 as of 2019. A family of 4 may anticipate to spend roughly $3,592 on transportation, healthcare, and other living expenses.
San Diego's high cost of living is attributable in part to the city's higher than average housing costs, with property prices rising considerably in recent years.
In 2021, the median home price in San Diego will be $743,000, while the median monthly rent for a regular apartment will be $2,610. San Diego boasts a robust sports scene that attracts new inhabitants and is home to Gary Sheffield, one of the world's richest baseball players. Number 7. San Jose, California. San Jose, with a population of slightly more than 1 million people, is famous for its warm temperature and for being home to some of the country's largest tech and biotech businesses. Silicon Valley's presence is likely the most major factor of San Jose's high cost of living, making it a huge draw for young people breaking into prominent tech businesses. The city's median household income of more than $100,000 reflects the city's high-profile reputation, yet the cost of living is also 68.1% greater than the national average. Public transportation is a major factor to San Jose's high cost of living, but the city's high-quality healthcare and low electricity expenditures help to counteract this. With median home prices of $1.1 million, significantly above the national average, and meeting an average down payment of $49,000, housing accounts for a large amount of the cost of living in San Jose. While you don't need Mark Zuckerberg's fortune to reside here, opulence is still required to live comfortably in this costly metropolis. Number 6. Oakland, California. If you're considering relocating to California, the cost of living should be at the top of your priority list, and Oakland is no different. For individuals who need access to San Francisco and other Bay Area hotspots but don't want to pay the higher price tag, Oakland is a more inexpensive option. Oakland, once home to one of the richest NFL teams in America, is the largest city in the San Francisco Bay Area's East Bay region, with a relatively low population of 440,646 when compared to some of the other wealthy cities. While Oakland's median family income is around 23% greater than the national average, the typical home value is $953,536, which is significantly higher than the national average of $389,400.
The general cost of living in Oakland is also greater than the national average, owing to high transportation costs and a one-bedroom apartment rent of more than $2,000. Number 5. Washington, D.C. Washington, D.C. is a magnet for federal government personnel, with 700,000 residents employed by multiple agencies, lobbying firms, and think tanks.
The private sector is highly represented, as one would expect from a city with significant political weight, with defense contractors, law firms, and industry trade groups all contributing to the local economy. According to Census Bureau data, the median household income in Washington, D.C. is $86,420, which is more than the national average of $67,521.
While daily living expenses including transportation, electricity bills, and health care costs are lower than the national average, the housing market is extremely competitive, with the average price hitting $452,400 in 2020, according to Washington Data and Research.
This high expense is exacerbated by an overall cost of living that, according to some estimates, can reach $143,000 per year in a metro region with so many national institutes.
It's no wonder that Washington, D.C.
is home to some of America's most powerful people, as the Federal Reserve Bank is the heart of political and financial power. Number 4. Boston, Massachusetts. The average yearly pay for Boston residents is $69,240, according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, while some positions in the city's information and technology industries can easily earn more than $100,000. These high earnings are required to cover the high cost of living in Boston, which is exacerbated by an expensive property market. Boston ranks second in terms of median property value, with a typical home value of $719,537 and monthly rent of roughly $3,500, compared to the national average of $1,164 in 2019. The cost of living in Boston is more than the national average for groceries, restaurants, and other daily expenses, with the minimum recommended amount to feed one person coming in at $408.17. The continual process of gentrification, which makes communities more attractive and drives up purchase prices across the board, is a major factor driving up the cost of living in Boston. With renowned universities such as MIT, Harvard, and Tufts all within a short distance of Boston, the city's cost of living is expected to remain higher than the national average. Number 3. Honolulu, Hawaii. Hawaii is famous for its beautiful sandy beaches flanked with palm trees, wonderful weather, and some of the world's most costly coffees. The cost of living in paradise like Hawaii is significantly above the national average in a variety of parameters, despite the fact that its capital city is the most isolated large metropolis on the planet. Because much of the food and other requirements of daily life must be brought into the island's isolation contributes to its high prices. The median property price in Honolulu is more than $1 million, while the median monthly rent is more than $2,941. Numerous factors contribute to these high prices, including limited new development and lower than average borrowing rates. Yet, Honolulu residents who can afford to live here enjoy beautiful weather, wonderful cuisine, and a surf-friendly shoreline. Number 2. San Francisco, California. San Francisco, known for the Golden Gate Bridge and an eclectic cultural milieu, is another state in California with a thriving tech economy. Like with many of California's most costly cities, the high cost of living in San Francisco is impacted by high-paid tech professionals who earn far more than the national average.
Tourism and a major financial services job sector generate additional employment, with the latter adding to San Francisco's high median household income. According to the San Francisco Living Wage Calculator, 2 working adults with 2 children would need a typical household income of $152,026 to pay their living expenses.
This is in line with San Francisco's high property prices, which can average approximately $1,500,000 and continue to grow year after year. It's a price worth paying for cultural buffs. The city gave home to the Beat generation in the 1950s, the hippie movement the following decade, and is a center for progressive culture to this day. Number 1. New York City. New York. Nobody is surprised that New York City is the most expensive city in the United States. Everything costs more in the Big Apple, from lodging and utilities to dining out and commuting. New York City attracts many of the nation's top achievers and is home to some of the most costly colleges in the country. Together with world-class colleges, Silicon Alley is home to a mix of media corporations, Wall Street financial institutions, and growing biotech and tech firms. The average annual salary in New York is roughly $81,000, but with a cost of living that is 129% more than the national average, a high wage does not always translate to an affluent lifestyle. Manhattan is the most costly borough to live in, with Manhattan rents average $4,140 and property prices exceeding $1 million being normal. Those who can afford it are rewarded with one of the world's top cultural hubs, which some refer to as the world's cultural capital. Almost 500 art galleries are included, as well as Times Square and Broadway, as well as the Lincoln Center for the Performing Arts and Carnegie Hall.